I thought my husband Kevin was the dream man. I'm telling you, he was a manly man. Well, what I did not really understand is the fact that he cheated. Yeah, that's right. I couldn't wrap it around my head because he's been so loyal to me. But when I tell you guys who he cheated with, you might lose your mind because I know I did. Well, I'll just say it. He cheated on me with my sister. Oh, but it gets so much worse than that. Not just my sister, but he cheated on me with my other sister too. That's two sisters, yeah. But it gets even crazier. Once I discover what happened, well, one of my sister's husbands is an absolute maniac. And when he finds out Kevin was the one who she had the affair with, you will not believe what he did. And well, I just want you to go grab your favorite beverage, kick your feet up, because this is the week's wildest story.
Hey everyone, how are you guys? I don't post on social media unless I absolutely have to, but my life is actually going downhill right now. It's so bad, I'm not even sure I can ever get it any worse. I've never experienced such pain in my life, and I did not even know I could be going through something like this in my life because, well, my life has always been somewhat sheltered. I don't mean this in a, oh, I've never had to go through anything in my life because I'm so privileged type of way. But it's like, how do I explain this? My life has always been a very straight line. There have not been any major events that altered my brain chemistry or anything like that. The most grief I went through was when my pet hamster died, because I sneezed too loud. I mean, hamsters die in the weirdest ways. My sneeze had absolutely no right being shamed by the family as much as it did, but oh well. Anyways, so that was the hardest thing for me as a child. As a teenager, I had a pretty smooth sailing life as well. I had a nice family, my friends were cool. Everything was according to how it should be and how it, well, made me happy. About the family thing, let's talk about that. I had to later realize that it was not actually perfect, and we didn't have a happy family that loved each other and did everything together, no. As kids, we would always say that we would give our lives for each other, but clearly, there's been some sort of miscommunication along the way. Instead, it was the very, very opposite. As an adult, everything I ever believed in has been turning on me, so I'm not sure what I believe in right now, but I'll figure it out. I always do. Anyways, I tend to move away from the topic too much. Sorry, that's a bad habit that tends to never leave me. Got me in trouble in a lot of areas of my life as well. So, this story mostly involves how my family ducked me over. I mean, technically, I was on topic. I thought my family would never do something like this to me, but I guess in life, you kind of have to expect the unexpected. Before I start telling you guys the real part why I posted, I just need to give you guys a bit of background context on the people involved in the story. The first person involved is obviously my husband, Kevin. He is, or, well, I should say, my partner in crime in everything. Everything that we did was together. He wasn't just my husband, he was my best friend, and my companion all in one. His smile would always light up the room, and it did not matter how crappy or gross my day was. He would always just make it better. From the first time I met him, I knew that his charm could win over anyone. It certainly won me over from the moment that we met. Speaking of which, we met at a local coffee shop, of all the places. I know, you probably hear that all the time. Well, not really, right? And soon, those coffee dates turned into countless memorable experiences together. Currently, it's been around 5 years since we've been married, I think. We dated for 3.5 to 4 years as well, so it's been around 9 or 10 years since we've been married, and throughout all these years, I've never expected Kevin to be the one to betray me. Especially this badly. I mean, I did not expect anyone to betray me this badly, but Kevin, oh Kevin, was the last person on my list for someone I thought to do something like this. And it's not just Kevin who decided to betray me. I mean, this entire story involves my sister as well. Let me introduce them to you guys. I have 3 sisters. Olivia, Sophia, and Emily, 24, 28, and 30 respectively. I also have a brother who's 35, and all of us are happily married. Well, so we thought. This entire thing has ended up with not just 1, but 3 broken marriages in the span of months. Yeah, I said 3. My sisters and I were always very close. We did everything together because we don't have that much of an age gap, so it was very easy for us to bond. We went to parties together, we hung out at night together, and we did crazy videos. I mean, everything. Anything that you can imagine sisters doing together, we did it. We were so close as kids, I thought that we were always going to be this close, because even just like a year ago, we were inseparable. Not even a year, I'm talking a few months ago, we were absolutely inseparable, and now, I don't think I can trust them with anything in my life. They betrayed me so badly, I don't know how I'm ever going to get over it. Anyways, I'll let you guys know what happened now because I'm just taking too much time in the introduction of the characters. I keep telling the characters, even though they're family members, but right now, they don't feel like family members to me at all. Actually, I would consider a stranger as more of a family member than I would consider most of them. So what happened was, as it turned out, my husband and I did not have a perfect marriage. Not at all. Instead, we actually had a very terrible marriage. But for some reason, I was not aware of the fact, and I thought that we were in love, that everything was going great, and that both of us were super happy, but apparently, Kevin was not as happy as I was. 2 months ago, I found out that my husband was not loyal to me. It's not like he was loyal to the other girl as well, because there was not just 1 girl, but there were 2. And guess what? The 2 women that he was dating behind my back, well, you might have guessed it, they were my sisters. Yeah, exactly my point. My reaction is the same as you guys probably right now. I mean, who could believe this? Your own sister is dating your husband behind your back. Absolutely ridiculous if you ask me, and I never thought I'd have to live to see a day when my younger sisters would steal my husband. So, the 2 sisters, Sophia and Emily. Olivia probably had nothing to do with it because she is also the youngest, and I know how important family is to her. I did my research as well, so I'm extra positive on that one. You can't blame me for it, though, because I thought that Emily and Sophia could not do anything like this either, but they did. So, there was no guarantee that Olivia would not do anything like this either. That's why I had to recheck. I was very pleased to see, though, that Olivia did not betray me at all. I guess it felt nice that at least 1 sister was by my side. It also wasn't like a one-time thing where I immediately found out that he was cheating on me or something like that. It took me months of analyzing his behavior, calculating his actions, seeing what he was up to. How he was acting, I'm talking about everything. For some reason, his routine started changing as well. He'd leave home early and come back really late, saying that he had a lot of work that he had to get done and that he had taken on this big project that was requiring all this time, knowledge, and attention. I believed him at first because, yeah, I guess your job can sometimes give you hard tasks to do or a crap load of work to do in such a short span. I mean, it's happened to me before, you know. So it's not really that unbelievable or a big deal if he's going through that as well. But that's the thing. He was not going through anything like that, and there was no big project that he needed to work on as well. He was spending his entire time 2-timing with my sisters. Actually, wait. Not 2-timing, but I'm talking about 3-timing. Because he wasn't just dating one of my sisters behind my back, he was dating 2 of them. So, I made up this plan to try to find evidence of whatever he's been up to so I can finally confront him. Initially, the thought that he could be cheating on me, it simply didn't even cross my mind, but then one day, He was in the shower when his phone starts to beep with notifications, so obviously I just grabbed the phone to see if it was something work-related in case he needed to go or anything like that. When I checked the notification, though, the name on the phone, it said Babe, and the person had sent him some very, pictures. First of all, the name blew my mind. I was so angry because clearly this person was not me, as I'm not texting him right now. And he should not call anyone else babe when, he's married to me. So who the hell was this person? Then I open up the chat to see that the girl had sent him very, explicit pictures. At that time, I could not figure out who the girl was because she cropped her face out from the pictures because it was angled in such a way. When he came out of the shower, I wanted to throw the phone at his face and ask for an explanation of everything, but I thought to myself, I should hold back. The only reason I did that was because I wasn't even sure how I should go on about this. Do I scream? Do I leave? How do I react? What do I do? It was very confusing, and I just didn't want anything to go wrong and just think impulsively, so I kept quiet, pretending like everything was okay when he came out. It was so hard, though, because I literally wanted to gag when he came up and kissed me. All I could think was, and I quote you this, "Oh, how many women have kissed this exact mouth even while he was married to me?" My brain was hurting so bad just thinking about it, and I ignored him the entire day and just wanted some sleep. Later, though, I finally realized that I needed to confront him and just let him know that I was aware of everything that was happening. So when he came back from work, I waited to greet him even though he came back at like 1 in the morning. I was waiting right there on the sofa. You can't avoid me, I'm right here. When he entered the house, he looked, really weird. I mean, not in a bad way, but in a way that it was very clear that he had not just come from work. I don't know how I missed it all these days, but I finally saw him. I finally saw it right then and there. Maybe it was because of the fact that I knew that he did not come from work, or maybe it was the fact that I was actually noticing what he looks like for the first time and not being a lovesick puppy that believes anything that he tells me. Anyways, I decided to just straight up confront him, and so I stopped him before he could even reach the stairs to go up to our bedroom. And I tell him, I've seen your phone, and that I know that he was cheating on me. First of all, he starts absolutely screaming at me and telling me that I had no right to go through his phone like I was not his wife and like he was not cheating on me with another woman. I mean, who does he think he is? So I screamed back because I had no way to control my anger, and we were just having a screaming match at each other endlessly. He was telling me that he was not cheating on me and that I was mistaken or something, and that even if I did check his phone, I could not know for sure if it was a random wrong message that he got because I just checked the notifications and did not open the chat. That's when I decided that enough was enough. I wasn't going to let him treat me like this, so I grabbed his phone from his hand and ran to the kitchen, but he chased me. But I uttered to him to stay back. And I guess I must have looked pretty angry because he did stay back. I decided to call the first number of a girl I could see with a heart emoji by her name on the phone and see who actually it was so that I had more concrete proof and evidence, just to confront him and finally break him free from all his lies. So I did it. I called up the number and I got the biggest shock of my entire life because as soon as the woman said, "Hello," I recognized it was my sister, Emily. I was so shocked because I did not expect this to be my sister, right? So I screamed at her and I asked her why she was cheating on her husband with my husband and why she was sending him all these explicit pictures. While I was screaming at her and she was crying and apologizing, she paused and told me that she had never sent any explicit pictures, though. Oh boy. Now, I'm obviously really confused at this point because I saw them with my own darn eyes, so there's no way that the first time was my hallucination or something. Anyways, I told her that she was wrong. I saw the pictures, but she did not believe me because she literally said this: "No, I never sent them." That's when I looked at my husband to see the guiltiest expression on his face. While Emily was still on the call, he told both of us that those pictures, well, they were actually not from Emily. They were from my other sister, Sophia. This entire thing went to crap immediately because that's when both of us realized that he was actually dating 3 women at the same time and all 3 of us were sisters. So, I decided to call Sophia and Emily to my house because I was like, I need to sort this out and I need to have a conversation with all them present to see what was actually going on. I also made Kevin stay in the room while all 3 of us were conversing because I told him that he was involved in it as much as we were and that I demanded an explanation from all 3 of them and not just the women involved. All 3 of them start screaming, crying, doing everything that guilty people do, and I just tried so hard to not let them freeze me because they disrespected me and they ruined my life. That's when I decided that I was going to divorce Kevin and that I was never going to talk to my sisters again. When I announced what I was going to do to all 3 of them, they started begging for my forgiveness and telling me that if I did that, then they would be exposed because everybody would know what they've done, and that would potentially ruin their life. Both my sisters had husbands, and they were well respected in their neighborhood and within their social circles, so if everyone found out that they cheated, it would bring so much chaos, not just to the family name, but to their reputation as well. Especially because Emily just got married very recently. I mean, I think they just celebrated their 1-year anniversary, so for her to cheat this early in the marriage, oh my goodness, it was going to be hell from now on. Honestly, I really hope that they go through heck, because they've made me go through it. I feel like a bad person saying this, but guys, it's true. What's up, everybody? Mr. Reddito here. So believe it or not, I have 4 jam-packed drama-filled updates, and I'm gonna tell you right now, these were not easy to find. Couple of them were located in the original post comments, and then another one was updated just a little while longer. But guys, pause the video right now, scroll down to the comment section, and let me know, do you think OP is going to go no contact and actually divorce Kevin, or is she going to forgive them? Then we'll come back after the story's over and see how close you were. Okay, also, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 60,000 subscribers, so let's do it. Here is update number 1. Okay, hello. I'm back with another update. So you guys remember how the last time I talked to you guys, I told you how much my siblings and my husband betrayed me, and I mentioned how I was going to divorce my husband and never go to speak to my siblings again. So if you thought that, well, you're right, I did that. But doing that meant that the entire family found out what they did, including their husbands. Now, I forgot to mention this is the main update that I gave above, but Sophia's husband is kind of crazy. So he went very wild when he found out what Sophia was doing behind his back, and let me just tell you, he got very, very unpredictable. Emily got divorced from her husband as well, but Sophia did not. Somehow she managed to convince her husband, Billy, that they should not get divorced and that Sophia was simply sorry for whatever she did. The craziest part about all this is that Billy came over to my house a few months after everything. Like, after 3 months, I exposed all 3 of them to the entire family. He comes scrolling by to my house and starts rambling about how angry he is with Sophia and how he actually has not forgiven her for cheating. But she was being very stubborn, so he let her be. But now, well, get this, he's planning on a little bit of revenge. Actually, wait, the craziest part of the revenge involved killing my ex-husband Kevin. Yeah, you heard that right. Billy is planning on killing my ex-husband because he was the one that his wife cheated on him with. He came over to my house because he was asking me if I wanted to join him in the entire plan and if I wanted to help kill my ex-husband. I obviously told him, Billy, no. Because there's no way I'm going to kill someone, not Kevin. I mean, even if I wanted to, or he did betray me, made me lose my entire self-respect, and basically made me go into a very crappy mental state, there's no way I was going to help Billy kill him. Billy got very frustrated when I said no. He obviously was not used to taking no for an answer, so he tried to persuade me even more, and he gave me this very, very precise plan about how he was going to do it. What was going to be involved, and everything else that could be planned that he was going to do. I firmly said no, Billy, because I can't kill someone. But he kept coming over to my house every other day, trying to convince me to go with the plan, and at one point I started to get pretty scared. Well, very, very scared, because he was not backing away. He would not budge, even when I told him that Kevin left me and moved to another city after we got into an argument when I was confronting him. This happened the day after I confronted him with my sisters, and because I was still very angry, and yeah, he too gets frustrated, he booked a flight for the same night to another city, and he left, and decided to move there forever. Well, we did get divorced a month after that, but it was still very crappy of him to do it. Anyways, Billy was ready to go to another country just to commit murder. I tried explaining to him that it was not going to work and that he should not commit such a big crime and get blood on his hands for something like this. But Billy, oh Billy, he was not taking no for an answer. So, well, I feel really bad because even though it's been months, and even though Kevin did this to me, I still felt a bit of love for him, even though I hate his guts now. I wasn't going to let anyone murder him, so I tried to stop Billy from thinking of the plan, but I don't know if I convinced him at this point. I really hope so, though, because he went home that night and told me that he would try and not think about his murder plot. Well, I guess we'll see what happens next. Updates number 2. Well, it's time for another update, so as it turns out, my brother-in-law actually did not, well, stop thinking about murdering my ex-husband. I'm absolutely devastated right now, to be honest with you. Absolutely devastated. And I can't believe that I even have to type these words out because they feel so unreal. And they make me want to crawl out of my skin, but Billy actually decided and managed to go on with the plan, and unfortunately, well, Kevin, he was actually murdered by Billy. I don't know what to think right now, because it's the fact that Billy could have done something like this when he was married to my sister that's very frightening. What if my sister did something like that and he killed her? It's not like I feel very different because Kevin was my family too, and even though, yeah, we were divorced, and even though he did something as bad as cheating on me with my own sisters, he was still my ex-husband, and I cared for him a lot. To see him brutally murdered like this is just bringing me so much pain, and I don't know what to do or think. I'm also drowning with guilt because my ex-husband actually begged me to help him with the situation because he found out that my brother-in-law was going to try to kill him. Billy started sending threatening messages to Kevin soon after he talked to me, and I didn't know that he was doing that, but Kevin texted me this one night, and he was like, "Hey, Billy's threatening me." I refused to believe him, but then I remembered that Billy was talking to me about his plan, and he sounded very serious, especially because he's known for his hostile, volatile, unpredictable behavior. I still didn't want to help because he broke my heart and he was out of the country, so I didn't think that Billy could actually manage to even find him. I also thought he was overreacting, so I refused to help. I should have helped him, though, because Billy was driven by his uncontrollable rage and he actually managed to get to Kevin, and it's tragic, but he killed him. I don't know why he decided to take matters into his own hands, though. Like, he could have just filed for a divorce like a normal person and just get Sophia out of his life. And then, I don't know, do something to make her suffer emotionally? Why did he have to go around murdering people for revenge? It was so stupid. And now I'm grieving my ex-husband who was murdered by my brother-in-law because he was cheating on me with my brother-in-law's wife, who's my sister. This is crazy. This whole situation's so messed up, and if I told anyone this, they would think that I'm telling them a movie plot because of how crazy it sounds, but it's reality, and I'm living in it. The authorities also managed to find out that this happened, and I also gave them proof that they needed to arrest Billy, because I just could not let him get away with something like this. It was morally, logically, incredibly wrong. So I stood in court and gave my testimony of how Billy was trying to get me into the plan. But I refused, and how Kevin was telling me about all this, but I thought he was overreacting, so I refused to listen as well. It was mainly because of me that Billy managed to get arrested. Because I gave them concrete proof evidence and showed them text messages and conversations that I've had with Kevin and Billy about the entire situation. Even though Billy is now arrested, and, well, Kevin is dead. I'm so uncomfortable in my life right now. Anxiety. I'm just terrified that Billy's going to come after me. I don't know. Escape a jail cell or something. And I could not stop feeling so guilty about Kevin dying because it's technically my fault that I didn't protect him. I knew what was going on, and I still let him get murdered. I don't know what to do anymore. I think I'm going to cry. Update number 3. Guys, Billy is still in jail after killing my ex-husband, and he's also like, I said, my sister's husband, the same sister who hooked up with my husband behind my back. But guys, when Billy got arrested, Sophia was very sad because she thought that she and Billy were finally recovering and doing everything to save their little relationship. That was absolutely ridiculous if you ask me, and she started blaming me, telling me that I basically ruined her chances of her getting her life back together. I mean, what? I tried explaining to her, honey, your husband is a serial killer, and that there's no way that she should spend her life with someone like that, because there's no guarantee that Billy would not do the same to her if she makes him mad. She did not listen to me, though, because even though I made these logical, rational arguments, she hated me, because apparently I ruined her life and all that nonsense, so she kept on crapping on me for doing what I did. She also managed to get Emily against me somehow, even though Emily was at fault as well because she also hooked up with my husband. She gaslighted Emily into making her believe that I ruined both of their lives, since I exposed them and that they were doing something like this to everyone. She basically got Emily to admit that it was not as big of a deal as everybody made it out to be, and then I should not have done what I did. Well, now 2 of my sisters are against me, even though I completely believe that they were the ones against me during the first time, because why else would you cheat on your sister's husband if you don't hate your sister's guts in the first place, right? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Oh my gosh, I'm still so angry about this. Thinking about it makes me want to scratch their face off like a cat. They also tried to get our mom on their side as well because they told my mother that they had lost a lot of friends in their life now. Also, told her that they're completely ruined because Emily's husband divorced her. With all this emotional manipulation at play, they tried to get my mom to feel bad for them, but what they did not realize is that my mother is very, very smart. She understood that this was something that cannot be forgiven. And she was still on my side, even though those 2 were practically trying their level best to dig my grave. Update number 4. This is the final update. Okay, so I know that all 3 of my updates have been very harsh and, well, very sad, because everything's just been going wrong with me, but this one is kind of happy, believe it or not. I'm not exactly happy, but it's heartwarming and it's making me want to cry. It's been 1 month since Billy got arrested for killing my ex-husband, and I was going through everything that I've mentioned in the past updates, all this emotional turmoil, all this tragic turn of events. I was grieving, I was angry, I was just all over the place. That's when I found out that Kevin had actually taken out a significant life insurance policy, and well, he named me as the beneficiary. Again, I don't know what to think, because I feel very sad and very guilty about him losing his life because I did not get the opportunity to save him from something that I could have saved him from, and also the fact that I had to find out about all this in this way. Technically, he was at fault for everything that he did as well, but I don't think that he deserved to be killed for it. The entire beneficiary thing is making me very confused, because even though I should be sad, it's also making me kind of happy, to be honest, because I found this financial stability that I've been trying to find after he moved, and we got divorced, because it's just been so hard for me to manage. When I found out that I was the beneficiary of the insurance claim, and that I'm actually about to receive a substantial amount of money, I was thrilled for a second before I remembered that I actually don't know what I'm supposed to feel. I tried talking to a couple of people, not that I have a lot of people to even, talk to. I don't know, it was just my mom that I was talking to, really. I'm really confused right now, so I just want to ask you guys this, and yes, this is my final update because I'm over it. Am I the a-hole that ruined my sister's marriage and caused my ex-husband's death?
I told you, that story was absolutely insane, but I will say, besides Kevin who lost his life, the person that absolutely struggled the most through all this was OP, Lily. Lily, she lost her whole family, basically. 2 of her 3 sisters basically cut off for good. What they did was unforgivable for most people. She lost her ex-husband. She also lost her current husband, Kevin, which became her ex-husband, but none of that would have happened if they weren't dirty cheaters. And then, to top it all off, she had to mourn after losing him from a murderer. This story just kept getting crazier and crazier. And when I was reading the story, I was thinking, yeah, this guy's probably just talking a bunch of crap, because realistically he's mad that his wife cheated, but he's not going to fly across the country and murder this guy, Kevin. But that's where I was wrong, because that's exactly what he did, and now he's going to be in prison forever, just like that. I do want to hear from you guys, though, what exactly you thought about this story, because it was a wild one. That's why I called it Mr. Reddito's Wildest Story of the Week. Drop your comments down below if you want more daily videos. Make sure you subscribe. We're about to close in on 60,000 subscribers. Just remember, it's cool to be kind. I'll see you tomorrow.